When clutch hitting meets perfect timing, magic happens. And Nick Fortes just delivered one of those spine-tingling moments that makes baseball fans fall in love with the game all over again. The Tampa Bay Rays pulled off a dramatic 5-4 comeback victory over the Chicago Cubs this Saturday evening. But here's where it gets controversial. Was this really about individual heroics? Or did the Cubs simply choke when it mattered most? Let's set the stage. The Rays found themselves trailing 4-3 heading into the 8th inning, looking like they might be heading home disappointed. But that's when Junior Caminero stepped up to the plate and launched a game-tying bomb off Cubs reliever Porter Hodge. This wasn't just any ordinary home run. It was Caminero's 43rd of the season, shattering his previous career high and proving that sometimes the pressure creates diamonds. But here's the part most people will miss in the highlight reels. Caminero's blast set the stage for what would become one of the most dramatic 9th innings of the season. Enter Nick Fortes, a player who many casual fans might not recognize, but who just etched his name into Rays history. Leading off the 9th inning, Fortes stepped into the batter's box facing Cubs closer Brad Keller, a pitcher who had been virtually untouchable. And this is where the story gets really interesting. Keller had thrown 22 consecutive scoreless appearances dating back to July 12. 22 games without allowing a run. That's the kind of dominance that builds reputations and wins championships. But Fortes had other plans. With one powerful swing, he sent a 421-foot missile screaming toward left center field, completely obliterating Keller's historic streak and giving the Rays a 5-4 lead. It was only Fortes' 5th home run of the entire season, which raises a fascinating question. Are these the moments that separate good players from clutch players? Or was this simply lucky timing? Brian Baker, who had struggled to a 4-4 record this season, suddenly found himself in line for the victory after pitching a clean inning of relief. Meanwhile, Pete Fairbanks was called upon to slam the door shut and secure his 26th save in 31 opportunities. A solid but not spectacular conversion rate that some might argue reflects the Rays' closer situation. And this is where the Cubs' collapse becomes truly painful to watch. Chicago entered the bottom of the 9th with everything to play for, and they immediately put themselves in a winning position by placing runners on first and third base with nobody out. In baseball terms, this is about as close to a guaranteed run as you can get without actually crossing home plate. But here's where championship teams separate themselves from pretenders. Execution under pressure. When Matt Shaw hit a routine grounder to third base, Cubs veteran Dansby Swanson made an aggressive decision to try scoring from third. Caminero, the same player who had tied the game an inning earlier, made a perfect throw home to cut down Swanson at the plate. 1 out. Rally killer. Fairbanks then proceeded to strike out both Michael Busch and Ian Happ, ending the Cubs' hopes and sealing one of the most dramatic victories of the Rays season. This game perfectly encapsulates everything that makes baseball both beautiful and frustrating. The Rays showed the kind of resilience that championship teams possess, fighting back from a deficit and capitalizing on their opportunities. But the Cubs' failure to score with runners on the corners and no outs in the 9th inning, that's the kind of missed opportunity that haunts teams for years. So here's the controversial question that's sure to spark debate. Did the Rays win this game, or did the Cubs lose it? Was Fortes' homer a moment of individual brilliance, or was it simply the result of Keller finally cracking under the pressure of an impossible streak? And most importantly, when your team has runners on first and third with nobody out in the 9th inning of a tie game at home, is there any excuse for not scoring? What do you think? Was this a case of clutch hitting by Tampa Bay or a catastrophic collapse by Chicago? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't hold back if you think either team choked when it mattered most.